I started a series a while back called A Million Little Things. And just a brief intro, as I've said 1,000 times, everyone thinks that something great epiphany or something's going to happen, and then bam, I'm a trader. Okay, I'm good to go. It doesn't work that way. It's actually a million little things that are going to make you a trader. And I know I beat the dead horse on a lot of these concepts, and you'll probably see me revisit quite a few. In fact, this superpower series, so to speak, I'm going to go back and talk about a lot of those things. It's like you have to constantly do them. It's not like you got a million little things, number 985,000 or whatever. Do this. It's like you have to always do this. It's not like you do that once. It has to be part of who you are. It has to be somewhat automatic in your execution. But one thing I was thinking about was identify superpowers needed and develop them. Now you're thinking, okay, well, Dave, I can't time travel, okay? And I don't have a crystal ball. So you can't go back in time and you can't see the future. You can only see the present. So how are you going to develop these superpowers? Well, the good news is it's far from easy, but it can be done. And the bottom line is there's no holy grail, okay? Again, in spite of what the YouTube gurus tell you. This means we're all playing on a level playing field. We have the same information as everybody else, especially if you're a technical trader, okay? If you're a fundamental trader, then there's no way you're going to have a fraction of a percent of what the institutions have, okay? Easy for me to say. They have thousands on staff. They have these computers, supercomputers. They have all kinds of stuff, right? And all types of data and all. And most of them, by the way, with fundamentals, obviously can't beat the S&P 500. They also can call up, if you're a big institution, you probably have some of these CEOs on speed dial. You can call them up. So you've got more inside information than the average Joe. So that's one reason, one argument, I should say, against fundamentals, or certainly as a private trader trying to use fundamentals. But the good news is you're playing on a level playing field. Market goes up, markets go up, markets go down, and markets go sideways. So leading into this series, or sub-series, I should say, I've been writing a lot lately on these superpowers, and I have a little digital notebook, and I've been writing about them for a few weeks now. And I think the biggest superpower that you can develop is to see what is. Now, Linda Raschke once said, if you don't know which way a market is headed, ask a 6-year-old kid. Now, I've quoted Linda on that so many times, people have attributed it to me. And so I don't quote it as much as I used to, but it's such a good quote, it's hard not to. And it's funny, the more I listen to Linda, the more I sound like Linda. So I found myself like, okay, stop listening to Linda so much. But you always really get something good out of Linda Raschke. Anyway, a 6-year-old is not worried about his mortgage or his pending divorce or what else, looking smart. A 6-year-old can look at a chart and tell you whether it's going up, down, or sideways. And that's something that you really can't lose sight of. And maybe that could have been a million little things. When you look at a chart, ask yourself, what would a 6-year-old say about the trend? Bernard Baruch says, I am a speculator. The word comes from the Latin speculare, which means to observe. I observe. He was, I think, around the time of Livermore, one of the most famous investors out there. Very interesting story. From what I understand, he was a big failure, and he kept going back to his dad for money. And one time his dad said, you're never going to get another cent from me. I'm going to give you this money this time. You'll never get another cent. And then guess what? He became a world famous trader afterwards because he didn't have a fallback plan anymore, and he had to get serious about it. But I digress. Roy Longstreet wrote a good little book. I gave my hard copy away, which is worth a fortune. I didn't realize it was worth a fortune when I did it. Charlie Kirk asked us to bring a book to his retreat that he had a few years back, and this was the one that I brought. I brought the hard copy version and gave it away. It's a good little book. Viewpoints of a Commodity Trader by Roy Longstreet. And if you go to davelandry.com/books-2-read, you could get a link on that. But he said something that made a lot of sense. The deepest secret for the trader is his ability to subordinate his will onto the will of the market. Now, let's say you're long a market, and I've done plenty of presentations on this, but you're no longer seeing the market objective. And it was Mike Tyson, or his trainer, as some say, that said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, right? So if you're long a market and wrong, and that market is obviously going down, you're no longer seeing it like a 6-year-old kid, right? Okay. All of a sudden, you find yourself beginning to justify why that market should not be going down. It's oversold due to bounce. The earnings were good. You know, they have these products and their demand is really strong, and nobody else is making these AI chips or whatever the case may be, or biotechnology drug or whatever. And of course, the big one, the situation in Nigeria.